Geek, Citadel.
I don't usually do quick reviews, but I feel like I have to put the word out. So, Afro Samurai Revenge of Kuma is one of those games you instantly see the flaws in. The first issue I found was after I started the first level. The game decided to restart and make sure I was paying attention to the long-winded crawling sequence. I suffered through the overbearing voice acting and made it through the scene again. Not soon after, I was slaughtered due to unresponsive controls that ushered me to my death by way of robot laser beam to the buttocks. I reached the end of an uneventful moment of climbing and slideshow cutscenes to observe Kuma screaming about regaining his memory.
I remember now. I remember everything.
This dropped me into a makeshift tutorial that basically told me to press X to win. I thought maybe I was simply confused and attempted to press any buttons possible to attempt the slicing mode from the previous game. To my utter disappointment, this option to control the sword was no longer a part of the game. Despite a few glitches in the tutorial, I was able to trudge through and reach another cutscene. This time I headed to the past to continue to chase after the ghost of a dead little girl. It was a memory from the original series where the orphanage is attacked by bandits. I was ready for action, but couldn't overlook the scenic moments that allowed me to see out of the map. I slammed on the X button with fervor while gaining skill points and taking many an arrow to the back. Once I reached my objective, I was somehow crawling again, and this time I was treated to random images of dead kids. I guess these are the orphans that were slaughtered in the battle, but I can't really wrap my mind around it as Gino consistently screams into my ear.
No, 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 no! It can't be. This can't be. Ah!
I reached the objective and it's once again slideshow time, another series of stills showing portions from the anime series. It was at this moment that I realized they didn't even have the license for the videos. I would have been more entertained by seeing a hint of the anime as opposed to whatever the hell this is. When the cutscene finished, I was dropped back to a climbing level and took to scaling another crystal wall of some sort. Once I reached the next checkpoint, it was time for yet another slideshow. Once it finished, I found Kuma crawling on the ground trying to reach safety. I was starting to wonder if Kuma had taken a page out of the Metal Gear Solid 5 playbook of long-ass crawling sequences. I finally reached the inside of the church and was confronted with a QuickTime event. What the fuck? I completed this fairly easily, even though it was a tap the button cutscene instead of a push the button cutscene, and there were places where it didn't even make sense that you had to tap the button. So I defeat some old dude by poking my fingers into his eyes and I'm transported to another memory in Kuma's head. This time I have to chase the ghost girl and fight members of my family. Did I mention that I haven't spent a single skill point? It's also worth noting that this game is mostly just using audio from the show to tell the story.
In 10 years, in 5, who will remember Afro Samurai? But your story, our story, that's a different matter.
Anyway, it was at this moment that I realized I should hop on the mic and spit a few words telling you all to stay away. This game is nothing at all like its predecessor. In fact, it's barely a game at all. You fight or jump on platforms for 2 or 3 minutes and then the game intrudes with a cutscene. It doesn't have any graphical options whatsoever on PC. Save your money and go buy the old game or just watch Afro Samurai on the internet somewhere.
I remember now. I remember now.